sign and reality, bread and body are separated, much like heaven and earth are separated. So to take Jesus saying, this is my body, right? This is my body. To take that in anything more than a metaphorical sense, as this sort of signifies, pointing away from itself, right? This sort of signifies my body. To take it in anything more than that would seem, on this modern epistemology, to lapse into crass literalism. You are eating Christ's body? No, you are not. You pass on the body, this is Christ's body, broken for you. Well, all right then, if you mean it metaphorically. Right? That's with a modern epistemology, the inevitable outcome. It must, in other words, because the bread is not the body, literally, you must arrive at a memorialist understanding of the Lord's Supper. In the supper we remember, after all, and that of course is the biblical support for this. In the Lord's Supper or in the Eucharist, we remember what Christ did. And such a view, as we all know, has become much more common, not only among free church traditions, but also much more common among the Reformed tradition, which historically, interestingly, never held to such a strict separation, such a strict nominalist separation, but which increasingly also takes hold within Reformed traditions. Calvin, by contrast, had a much more participatory view of the Eucharist. I won't go into detail on that now. But for Calvin, he doesn't go as far as I would wish him to go. But just to illustrate how far he is from where many of us today as evangelicals have gone. For Calvin, when you eat the bread, he says, you now eat the body of Christ, and you now drink the blood of Christ. Now he's careful in how he puts that, and I do think that a modern epistemology affects also his thinking. But it's a far cry from where many in the later Reformed tradition and Free Church traditions have gone. On the earlier view, and also my reading of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, we have a much more participatory view. Our participation in the body and blood of Christ in the Eucharist, which verse 16 mentions, makes us into the body of Christ. One of my favorite theologians, Henri Bach, often puts it this way: the Eucharist makes the church. He says, the Eucharist makes the church. He expands on this at some length in a book that is entitled Corpus Mysticum. Corpus Mysticum.